From Hollywood, Camel Cigarettes present The Jimmy Durante Show, starring Jimmy Durante and Don Ameche with Vera Vague.
A-dink-a-dee, a-dink-a-doo, a-dink-a-dee. Oh, what a toot! Oh, fine and cozy. A-dink-a-doo, a-dink-a-doo.
Say, Jimmy, I see you got that healthy look from working in your garden. Tell me, how's your garden doing?
Great, Donzie, great. I've got the most unusual flowers of the year, roses.
Well, what's so unusual about getting roses?
I planted chrysanthemums.
It's the Jimmy Durante Camel Show with Don Ameche, Vera Vague, Roy Bargy and his orchestra, and yours truly, Howard Petrie, brought to you by Camel Cigarettes.
How mild can a cigarette be?
In a coast-to-coast test of hundreds of people who smoked only Camels for 30 days, noted throat specialists reported not one single case of throat irritation due to smoking Camels. Test Camels in your T-zone. T for taste, T for throat. And see how flavorful and how mild Camels are.
Make a note. Remember your throat. Try Camels today.
Well, Big League Baseball season opened this Tuesday, and like guys all over the country, Jimmy and I could think of nothing but baseball. In fact, for the past few days, we both sneaked out to get in a little practice. But there was just one little trouble, my wife. One afternoon, while I was waiting on the front porch for Jimmy to pick me up, she finally cornered me.
Donald Ameche, are you going out to play baseball with that Durante again?
Yes, dear.
Oh, you think more of playing baseball than you do of your own family.
Oh, that's not true.
Baseball. What about our 6 children?
As soon as we get it up to 9, we'll play them. But there's no harm if a fella goes out and plays a little ball.
How do I know that's all you do? Especially when you're with Durante. Maybe you meet a couple of girls and take them to a movie.
Oh, don't be silly, darling. I haven't been to a movie in months.
Then how about taking me to the Bijou tonight? They have that new Vaughn Monroe picture, Singing Gun.
Oh, I saw that last night. Now, I came back from the ballpark early and you weren't home, so I went to a movie alone. Say, come to think of it, you weren't home the last few nights before that either. Where were you?
Well, I don't see why I have to explain my actions if you can't explain yours any better. The way you always run around. Everywhere Durante goes, you have to go.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I stay home while you follow the cry of the wild gnome.
Now, don't change the subject. I'd still like to know where you've been the last few nights. And Oh, here comes Jim in his car. Now, we'll talk about it later. Hey, Jim, it's kind of crowded on this side. You better park across the street.
Nonsense. I'll park right between these 2 cars. Here it goes. That makes the space now to park the car. I'm also a devil in a supermarket with my wire basket.
Oh, Jim, you should have parked across the street. There's more room there.
But that would mean I'd have to walk across the street, and that's too dangerous. I did that yesterday, and the car hit me and knocked me 500 feet in the air. Then they arrested me.
What for?
For leaving the scene of the accident. That was pretty funny, huh, Mrs. Ameche? Pretty funny.
Oh, what a revolting person.
Jim, maybe we better call it off for today. You see, my wife doesn't like the idea.
Don't be silly, Don. We'll take her along. Come on, Mrs. Ameche. You could play baseball with us.
Me? Play baseball?
Sure, you're still in shape for it.
Well, thank you.
Come on, Don. Let's take your wife out on the field and swing the old bat.
How can he mean things so sweet and make them come out so sour?
Mr. Durante, you are an unmitigated, uninhibited bore whose aberrational idiosyncrasies are exceeded only by your insipid cognizance of social amenities.
Wait a minute. Do you mean to say I'm an unmitigated, uninhibited bore whose aberrational idiosyncrasies exceeded only by my insipid cognizance of social amenities?
Yes! You are an unmitigated, uninhibited bore whose aberrational idiosyncrasies are exceeded only by your insipid cognizance of social amenities.
She wins. I could never make that trip again.
knows how did he ever make the first one? Look, dear, I'll be back at 8 and we can have dinner somewhere together, huh?
At 8? Oh, well, I won't be home at 8.
Stepping out on your sprouts, huh, Mrs. Ameche?
Yeah, stepping out. Darling, where are you going today?
I don't think I have to explain anything to you. I'm going upstairs now. If Mr. Durante wants something to drink, show him to the medicine chest.
What's she up to now? Women, they cause all the trouble.
Yeah, women. Sometimes I think this world would be better off if there was no such thing as women. Just men and children. There's a flaw in that statement, but I just can't seem to find it.
I can't understand what my wife has been up to these last few nights. Gosh, it couldn't be another man.
You can never tell. I knew a fellow who suspected his wife of going around with other fellas. So to get her away from them, he moved to a lonely house way up on the top of a high hill. But he was still suspicious.
Why?
He kept meeting too many guys who were out of breath. You know something, Don?
What?
He was especially worried about one guy with a climbing rope who yodeled.
Well, I'm not really suspicious, but I would like to know what's going on. I'll get that. Yeah, hello. What's that? What? Now, wait a minute. Hello. Oh, he hung up. Jim, that was some Frenchman called Charles Duval telling my wife to show up again at 8 tonight.
Ameche, it's happened. You're face to face with the internal rectangle.
I know it. It's my own fault, too. I neglected her too much. There goes my wife, my home, nothing left.
Donza, you still have me.
You? When I come home from a hard day's work, could you light up my camels for me, put on my slippers, and bring me the evening papers?
I'll take on that job.
Could you make the world seem like a brighter place with just the magic of your gay laughter?
I'll take on that job.
Could you make me forget my troubles just by sitting close and letting me run my fingers through your thick, wavy hair?
Where do I go to get my unemployment insurance?
Oh, wait a minute. This is silly. I'm going upstairs and talk this over with my wife. Maybe even apologize.
Hold it, Ameche. That's the wrong approach. You've got to fight fire with fire. Make her jealous. Go out with another woman.
Say, maybe it wouldn't hurt at that. She has been taking me for granted lately. Yeah, Jim, you're right. I'm not going up to my wife and apologize. Now, what girl did you have in mind?
Vera vague.
I'm going up to my wife and apologize.
Wait a minute, Don. Wait a minute. You've got to do this to save your cannibal bliss. As the poet said, lesson on thee, little man, barefoot boy with cheek of tan.
Jimmy, what has that saying got to do with what we're talking about?
Nothing, but it's the only one I know, and one of these days I'm bound to hit a situation where it'll fit. Come on, let's go over to Vera Vague's house and start on Operation False Amour.
Don, I've been thinking it over, and the reason I won't be here at 8 is... Oh, he's gone. Well, maybe I'll keep it as a surprise, as I originally planned. When he sees that portrait I'm having painted of me by Charles Duval, I know he'll be delighted.
Say, Jim, maybe I better go in first and talk to Miss Vague by myself, huh?
All right. Meanwhile, I'll go buy Miss Vague some perfume.
Perfume?
Yeah, I know a kind that's terrific.
Huh?
I once had a date with a blonde. Before I brought her to her, I dabbed some on me to test it.
Well, did you enjoy your date with the blonde?
What blonde? It smelled so good I stayed home all night and danced with myself. See you in the nonce, Don.
Okay, Jim. Well, this is Miss Vague's apartment over here. Now, how can a woman be so careless? She left her purse lying right on the floor. I better pick it up.
The trap worked. I caught another one.
That's Vera Vague, all right.
Oh, Mr. Ameche, it's you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Can I make up for it by serving you a little lunch?
Well, thank you. Could you fix me a hard-boiled egg sandwich?
Well, no, I'm afraid not. For some reason, I can't seem to make a hard-boiled egg.
Well, how come?
Well, every time I get the chicken in the hot water, she refuses to lay one.
forget the lunch. The reason I came over was to ask you a rather personal question. Would you consider being my girlfriend for an evening?
Oh, Mr. Ameche, what fun!
Yeah, now wait a minute. It isn't...
Oh, we'll have a wonderful evening. We'll drive up the hill here near my home, and we can be alone on Lookout Mountain.
Oh, you don't know your geography. That's Eagle Point, not Lookout Mountain.
You don't know me. If I ever get you alone on that mountain, look out!
Look, Miss Vague, you don't understand. You aren't actually going to be my girl. The whole thing is going to simply be an act to make my wife jealous.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
But it really has to be convincing. I want you to act like you really like me. You know, pretend you're throwing your arms around me, holding me close, squeezing me, kissing me. Do you think you can do that?
Shake hands with next year's Academy Award winner.
I got a feeling this won't work at all. Miss Vague, I don't believe my wife would ever be jealous of you. You're not glamorous enough.
Not glamorous enough? Well, at the beauty parlor, I'm taking a course of 8 treatments that are guaranteed to make me the most beautiful girl in town. And I've already taken 7 of them.
Boy, that 8th one must be a pip. I must have my little joke.
That's what your mother said when you were born.
Miss Vague, that's beside the point. I'm here to find out if you,
Greetings, my little lovebirds. I assume everything is all arranged?
Jimmy, I'm glad you got here. I've been thinking it over, and I'm convinced that Miss Vague isn't the one to make me...
Just a moment, Donzie, just a moment. First, allow me to present Miss Vague with this precious little gift.
Oh!
Mademoiselle, please accept this perfume with which to grace your vanity stable.
How exciting! Is that the one for $12 a bottle called Tonight's the Night?
No.
No? Is it the $8 bottle, Tonight or Never?
No.
The $3 bottle, Tonight We Love?
No.
Well, what is it?
I paid 85 cents for it. It's called Possibly the Day After Tomorrow.
Say, Jim, can I talk to you alone out in the hall for a minute?
Sure thing, Ameche. Don't forget, Miss Vague, tonight we rendezvous at my residue.
Okay, Jimmy.
Now, what is it, Donzie?
Jimmy, I can't go through with this. My wife would never take anyone like Miss Vague seriously. It'd be a waste of time.
Well, Miss Vague isn't the only fish in the sea. I've got a lot of girlfriends of my own that I can fix up with. You see, women have been going crazy about me lately.
Lately? What's the improvement?
It's my nice pink skin reflecting the glow of my red blood corpuscles. Let me tell you how I got that. Somehow I feel like I got a brand new physique. To lift a ton would just be baby's play. And I want to tell you, all I used to be weak. But oh, how things have changed as of today. I want you to know, folks, I weigh 140 pounds stooped over. I gotta weigh myself stooped over. I can't get the bedroom scale out from under the sink. Should have been bedroom, I said ballroom. Yes, I just got my massage. And am I really the healthy one? 'Cause, pal, that's really living. It's great, it's fun. Yes, I'm a madman. For a massage, I'm blubber. For a guy who is a rubber, I'm a madman. For a massage, I'm a fool, but I'm a fool. For eucalyptus oil, what a shame. Each guy is quite a tussle, 'cause it takes 1 hour just to find one muscle. It's music. When my masseur starts to hurt my vertebrae, my massage takes all day. I just lie there and pose. They spend an hour on my body, 23 on my nose. It must be great, 'cause I'm a steak. My masseur's looking great. Yes, I'm a madman for a massage. Folks, I just had to build myself up. I used to be a 98-pound weakling, and was it humiliating? One day I went to the beach, and a 200-pound bully kicked sand in my face. So what did I do? I went to a gymnasium and built myself up to 200 pounds, too. Then I went back to that very same beach looking for that guy, and what happened? A 400-pound bully kicked sand in my face. You know, the latest thing in the movies is having the male stars expose their physique. Alan Ladd comes out on the screen stripped to the waist. Clark Gable comes out stripped to the waist. Victor Nature comes out stripped to the waist. But when I come out on the screen, all eyes are upon me. I'm the only one who exposes shorts designed by Gorgeous Gussie. It must be great, cause I must state my shoes looking great. Yes, I'm a man for a mustard. Yes, sir, I'm a man for a mustard.
How mild can a cigarette be? Make the Camel 30-day test and you'll see.
You know, so many people in show business, actors, singers, announcers, smoke Camels. And here on tape is that lovely singer, Fran Warren, to tell you why.
Hello there. This is Fran Warren. You know, anybody who sings as much as I do has to be pretty choosy about cigarettes. I've tried a lot of different brands, and I'm sold on Camels. I made the Camel 30-day test, and I know that Camels agree with my throat.
Friends, try Camels in your T-zone. T for taste and T for throat. You'll see how rich and flavorsome Camels are. And you'll see just how mild a cigarette can be.
In a coast-to-coast test, hundreds of people smoked only Camels for 30 days. Each week, their throats were examined by noted throat specialists who reported not one single case of throat irritation due to smoking Camels.
Make a note. Remember your throat. Try Camels today.
And I'd like to add, I rip off the cellophane, open the pack, take a little puff and just sit back. Going from jokes to the greatest of smokes. Folks, won't you try a Camel?
Well, Jimmy had poked his nose into my life again. Because of a combination of circumstances, I was a little suspicious of my wife, and Jimmy immediately devised a plan of counterattack. Let my wife see me with another girl and make her jealous. So there we were at Jim's house trying to figure out what girl.
Don't worry, Don. Durante will be able to get you your choice of feminine females.
Yeah. Please, Jim, don't start with all those stories about how many girls you know.
I don't want to brag, Don, but you see this little black book in my hand?
Yeah?
See all those names and addresses in them?
Well, what about them?
That's no milk route. You know something? I got them classified according to a system. In the front part of the book, I got the names of the girls who nick.
What about the back part?
I'm happy to report there ain't no back part. There's no room for slackers on Durante's list.
Well, let's see what girls you have. Betty, cuddly type. Phyllis, when you take out on date, will only kiss you good night.
But, Don, I solved that problem.
How?
Short date, long good night.
Oh, brother. Jim, I can't go out with any of these girls. Haven't you got any that are high class?
You just came to it, Don. The one right here. I'll call her right up.
Huh?
This one is real class. Hello. Sam's Garage. Lubrication Department. Lubrication Department. Bottom pit, please. Hello? I'd like to speak to Crankcase Mabel. Oh, she's out, huh? Goodbye.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, she wouldn't have been much fun anyway. I once took her to a drive-in movie, and it wasn't as romantic as I thought it'd be.
Well, what do you mean?
While I was sitting in the front seat eating popcorn, she was underneath the car draining the oil.
Jim, look, let's forget about the whole thing. Maybe I'll just have a heart-to-heart talk with my wife and tell her I forgive her, huh?
No, Don, you gotta teach your wife a lesson. You have to sashay with another femme.
Well, maybe so, but we can't...
I'll get the door.
Relax, boys. It's your friendly manicurist, Hot Breath Hallahan.
Attention! Attention, census takers. This is Wade coming back and counting twice. But Hot Breath, you've got grass all over your shoes. You've been walking on my nice little lawn again.
Well, I couldn't help it. You know that sign outside that says, keep off the grass?
Yeah?
When I came by, it went back in the ground, and another one popped up that said, trample on me, I love it.
They're building lawnmowers like that. I'm going to buy one.
Quit the kidding, boys. I came over to give Mr. Durante his weekly manicure.
Forget the manicure, hot breath. Fate has dropped you into our laps. Donzie, don't you see?
Yeah, I get it. She's the one to make my wife jealous.
Wait a minute. I refuse to be mixed up in a conspiracy against a member of my own sex. Remember, boys, I too am a woman.
Believe me, hot breath, there's never been any doubt in my mind.
It wouldn't be much, hot breath. When my wife comes in, all you have to do is give me a little kiss.
A little kiss?
Yeah.
Listen, tall, dark, and see all those nice, white, shiny teeth of yours? Well, one kiss from me.
Yes.
Charcoal cubes.
Well, she has the fire going. Anybody got some steaks?
Well, I'll go through with this, Mr. Ameche, but I warn you, I might make you forget your wife.
You make me forget my wife, Lorene? You make me forget Lorene? Just because you got that gorgeous hair, that beautiful face, that lovely figure, you make me forget. By the way, Jim, what is my wife's name?
Never mind that. With her around, I can't even remember my own name. But Hotbit, I bet you're a little disappointed that it's not me you're gonna make love to.
Don't be so sure, Banana Beak. You see, Mr. Ameche is very handsome. He goes to my head like bubbling champagne.
What about me?
When I can get bubbling champagne, what would I want with flat old root beer?
Yeah, maybe so, but remember, you can only get champagne on special occasions. Root beer is always around when you want it. But Hotbread, let's get back to the business of making Don's wife jealous. Can you be back here at 7 o'clock?
Sure. And to help things along, I'll wear my strapless, backless, and sideless dress.
Strapless, backless, and sideless. Won't it fall off?
What did you say?
I said, won't it fall off?
Why should it? It can't think of a better place to go. Well, so long until tonight, Rover boys.
So long, Hotbread.
Jim, the closer we're getting to this, the more nervous I'm getting. There's still time to call the whole thing off.
Ameche, how can you talk like that? Remember that famous Latin saying? In hoc signa vincer il pluribus human vi tresti?
That's kind of cute. What does that mean in English?
If I knew what it meant in English, would I go to the trouble of saying it in Latin? Everything's set, Don. I called up your spouse, and she'll be right over.
Oh, that's swell, Jim. Hot Breath and I will go into the next room, and when I hear you open the door, we'll fly into each other's arms. Let's go, Hot Breath.
Okay, honey.
That's Mrs. Ameche at the door now. I'll get it.
Mr. Durante, you said you have something very important to tell me. Now, I haven't got much time. What is it?
Mrs. Ameche, I've got shocking news. Don has been going out with other women. He's a philanthropist.
I don't believe it. I do Don's laundry, and not once have I seen lipstick on his handkerchief.
Why do you think he grew that mustache? After he kisses a girl, he uses it to blot up the evidence. And if you still don't believe me, let me show you what's in the next room.
Well, make it fast. I've got my regular 8 o'clock appointment to sit for my portrait by Charles Duvall. It's a surprise for Don.
8 o'clock, portrait. Brother, have we been laboring under a misapprehension? He's perfectly innocent.
Oh, please, stop that mumbling and show me what's in the next room.
It's really not important. I just called you over to help me on some instructions. You see, I'm knitting little booties.
You're knitting little booties? What for?
I noticed a clause in my hospital insurance that entitles me to 4 free weeks on a maternity ward.
You can't become a mother.
Those men know their business. If they think I have a chance, I gotta try and make good.
Oh, this is really getting ridiculous. But there's something wrong. I'm going to see what's in the next room.
It's not necessary. I really just called you over to ask you what time it is. You see, I haven't got a clock in the house. What do you know? The ship is going down my street again.
A ship going down your street?
Certainly. This is California. They want a chance at the pedestrians like everyone else.
Well, if you really wanted the time, you could have found out by calling the phone company.
I can't. My phone is out of order.
Oh, yeah? Your phone just rang.
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear it again. And besides, I just remembered I've run out of camels. Come on. Let's walk a mile for one.
Oh, now stop. I'm going into that next room and see what's there.
Mrs. Ameche, you can't. Wait a minute.
Now stop holding me back.
But please,
Take your hands off me.
Please.
Hey, Jim, I've been wondering where... Jimmy! My wife is in your arms. Oh, I see it all now. You're the one she's been running around with.
Holy smokes, I've created a Frankenfooter.
What are you talking about, Don? He was just trying to keep me from going into the next room.
That's right. I found out our 8 o'clock meetings were just to have a portrait painted.
Portrait painted? Oh, darling, what a relief. I'll never doubt you again. There's no question of it. You're a one-man woman and I'm a one-woman man.
Sounds confusing, but I'm sure they can sort it out when they get home.
Yes, dear, I'd never look at another woman.
Ameche boy, I'm ready to give you that kiss you've been waiting for. Here goes.
But hot breath.
Donald Ameche, there must be an explanation for this.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, why explain, Mrs. Ameche? Your husband just found someone with a more exciting figure.
Hot bread, cut it out.
Well, you do have a nice figure, dear. I always said that lumps would come back into style.
Now, girls, please.
Nice figure indeed. Why, I'll match my legs against yours any day.
Don't be silly. Your legs don't even match each other.
Get out the catnip. These girls may need refreshments between rounds.
Look, darling, we just got hot breath to make you jealous. Believe me, there is no other woman.
Well...
Jonesy, my lover boy! Let me throw my arms around you.
Another one!
They keep coming in. What a spot for an enchilada stand. Don, we forgot to stop Miss Bay.
You got me into this, Jim. Now do something.
This has all been a mix-up. Vera, you go home. And Don, you take your wife home and explain the mix-up to her. And Hot Brett, you stay here.
What for?
If this is going to be an evening of mix-ups, I want to get mixed up with something good.
What cigarette do you smoke, Doctor?
That was the question asked of 113,597 doctors. Doctors in every branch of medicine.
What cigarette do you smoke, Doctor?
The brand named most was Camel. Yes, according to this nationwide survey, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette.
Friends, try Camels in your T-zone. T for taste and T for throat. You'll see how flavorful and how mild a cigarette can be.
Friends, the many men in servicemen's and veterans' hospitals like to know that they're remembered. Every week, these men receive gift Camels as a token that they are not forgotten. This week's Camels go to veterans' hospitals, Excelsior Springs, Missouri, and Bath, New York. U.S. Army Station Hospital, Fort Benning, Georgia. U.S. Naval Hospital, Chelsea, Massachusetts. The Camel people have sent more than 191 million Camels to servicemen, servicewomen, and veterans.
Good night, Mr. Durante.
Good night, Don. Good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
The Jimmy Durante Show is produced and directed by Phil Cohan and brought to you by Camel Cigarettes. Listen in again next Friday night when Jimmy Durante, Don Ameche, and Vera will be back on the Jimmy Durante Camel Show from Hollywood.
PA stands for Pipe Appeal and Prince Albert, America's largest selling smoking tobacco. PA is crimp cut for smoothness and specially treated to ensure against tongue bite. Men, get Prince Albert, the national joy smoke.
Camel Cigarettes also invites you to listen to the Screen Guild Theater every Thursday evening over these same stations. On next Thursday, April 27th, they will present The Shocking Miss Pilgrim, starring Betty Grable and Dennis Morgan. Be sure to listen.
Next, William Bendix stars in The Life of Riley on NBC.